Morning, morning, good morning. It's a good morning, a rainy morning, a rainy morning. It's a rainy morning here in South Mississippi. Been raining a good bit here lately, but just as soon as, just as much as it rains, it's going to shut off eventually, and it's going to get all dry. I ain't really set up yet, y'all. Gotta get my chair over here so I can turn. Move this so you don't have to see Paul getting around for school. Get my feet up in my chair. Lean back. Adjust the screen. Get comfortable. And say hello. Good morning, y'all. It is a little bit on the dreary side. But it's all right. It's just rain. They had some tornadoes earlier, or I guess last week. What's today? I think it was last Friday. I can't remember now. But they had a tornado pretty much went all the way across the state, and it's killed several people. And I don't know. That's just in Mississippi, from what I understand. But I want y'all to know I appreciate all of y'all checking on me. I don't know how many of y'all called or texted or messaged or left a comment or whatever. Y'all was all worried about old Chuck and Belinda down here in South Mississippi, but we was high and dry. We barely hardly even got any drops. Most of it all went just north of us, and which I was thankful. I'm not thankful that they got it, but I'm thankful. I don't like tornadoes. But now we got the rain coming in, but I don't think anything's supposed to be serious. But it's we're doing good. We're doing good here. I think everything's coming back. Y'all, I had my last week. I think it was last Monday night. We had a freeze that got down in the 20s. And I went out, I looked, I lost all my snap beans. Well, pretty much all of them. There was a few stragglers here and there. I think I pretty much lost all my potatoes. But I went back and we got 3 more rows planted, just in case we did lose. We lost most of them. There's some that survived it. But I went out there yesterday and I'm looking, there's some green coming out of the potatoes. But from what I understand, and I don't look, y'all, I'm not a gardener. I like to do it and I grow stuff. But as far as understanding the process and all that, I don't consider myself knowing much of anything. Way I understand, even though it's getting the green leaves on it and starting to sprout out again, it's using all that energy. It's using all that energy to make leaves instead of the tubers or the potatoes. And hey, I can see now. And it's so I don't know that I was told. I just watched a video on it where that if they do come up, that they'll probably be small, and that's fine. I don't really care. I'm not out. I do like good fresh potatoes. Don't get me wrong, but I like small ones too. We put them in our green beans and eat them like that. Oh man, they're good. We stew them, put them in a white little gravy. Man, they good. We put them in roast and all kind of stuff. Eat the small ones like that. But I do. It's fun though, going out there when they get ready and digging them up, and it's like a treasure. It's like a treasure hunt. You dig and you here's a potato, and you're always glad when that happens. I had like 4 rows planted. I think I counted. I can't remember if it was 100 or 200. I can't remember how many I had per row. Had to have been about 200 plants. Because I know it's more than 25 per row. and I knew it was kind of an even number. So I think it must have been 200 plants. And so I don't know. I don't know if they'll come up or not, or I don't know if they'll remake or not. The ones that I replanted, which is late for us here in South Mississippi, that I'm hoping they'll come on up. It's that's just gardening. My beans, my snap beans, my bush beans, whatever you call them nowadays, man, I tell you what, it got them too, and I had to replant all that, which that's no big deal. They'll come back up hopefully and make for us. My pole beans, I had to replant some of those, and I planted out some sweet potatoes. It may be a little early, but I went ahead and planted out some of my slips that I had because they was getting big old roots and stuff on them. So I went ahead and done that. My carrots come through it fine. My cabbage come through it fine. What else? Garlic. I planted them last August, September, something like that, or some of them, and then I replanted some more. But they're all doing good. Oh, it got a lot of stuff in my greenhouse or my hot house. I don't reckon it's a greenhouse. I don't know what you call it. It's just a building with plastic over it. And but I guess it got so cold in there that it hurt a lot of my plants, which I had a lot of my pepper plants that it killed over, which the pepper plants were kind of small. So I just snipped them. I snipped them. They had 2 leaves out, and I said, well, they'll never make it. But I'm looking now, and they're starting to get some growth coming out of where I snipped it off. So I think some of my pepper plants is going to be fine. We'll see. It's what it is, y'all. I got some more seeds planted. I don't know why. I mean, I got plenty of plants, so I'll do that. Let me tell you. Oh, let me get over here and say hello to everybody. I'm just over here yapping and talking, and let's see what it says. It says that nobody's in the chat on my little live thing up here, my little eyeball up at the top of my screen, but I see y'all in the chat, so I know that's a lie. We got our friend Lazy Days Ahead, Jesse and Lisa. Always good to see them. I seen them doing a live test thing where you actually stream with other people and you both get the hours, from what I understand. That's pretty cool. I'm going to have to try that. Some of y'all want to try and do one of those, I don't know what you call them. Anyway, I have to look into it. Good morning, Gwen. Good to see you. Always good to see Gwen. Deborah Rusugnolo. Good to see my friend down there in Florida. Good morning, Peter. It's always good to see you. There's some Canadian friends up there. Deb, Mrs. Coffee Walks and whatever. Good morning. Good to see you. Jesse throwing some links out. Smoking some bologna in the smokehouse. Yeah, I used to go back of the building too when I was a kid and smoke stuff, but it wasn't bologna. We had us a fort when we was a kid. We lived up in Tennessee, lived up just outside of Franklin, Tennessee. There's a big reservoir that was behind us, a big lake. And it was a beautiful place for a kid to grow up. We had the lake behind us, and then you walk through the field and go across the road to Lewisburg Pike, I think is what it's called. And then you go across the road to the Harpeth River. And they had like a little dam there, not much of one, but a little dam. And then the water. And as kids, we would walk down there all the time and just walk up and down that river and river banks, catching fish. And I couldn't imagine my kids at that age just running off. But mom and them didn't care about us. They just said, y'all get out and go do. And we did. We had fun doing it. What was I talking about? Anyway, we had some corn Dad had grew some corn. And so we took the stalks and we built us a little fort in the corner back there of the property. And we'd use it to shoot the blackbirds and the robins that would come. And back then, which I'm sure it was illegal back then, but we didn't know. We was just kids. But we'd clean them and we'd eat them. We'd fry them up and eat the blackbirds and the robins. And I don't know if Mom and them ever ate them, but we did. We would fry them, and or she would fry them for us sometimes. But we'd sit back there. But somehow or the other, my brothers got a hold of some cigarettes. And let's see, how old are you when you're in the 4th, 5th grade? However old you are in the 4th, 5th grade, that's about what time it was. 4th, 5th, 6th. Let's see, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. So there was 4 years up there that we lived. And anyway, me and my brothers got back there. We'd get butts, I guess, that people threw down or something. Anyway, we'd find them and keep them and smoke them. My mama got out there one day. I know she could smell it, but she never could find it. We'd hid it up under something. And then that was when my brother convinced me to dip snuff. Now, back then, 12 years old, we could walk down the road about a mile. There's an old country store, and we could buy our Red Man. There was something else, beech nut back then. I can't remember now. Your memory fades as you get older. And we'd walk down the store and you could buy a kid. I mean, we as kids, 12, 13, 14 years old, they'd let us buy it and didn't think nothing about it. And we'd bring it back. Of course, we never did tell Mom and Dad because Dad would always say, if I ever catch you doing that stuff, boys, I'm going to get a plug of Brown's Mule and put it between 2 loaves of bread or 2 slices of bread and make you eat it. And so that did not appeal to us. So we tried to hide it from the parents. And but anyway, one day he taught me into dipping some snuff, it was Copenhagen. He said, this stuff is nothing. It's light on you. It won't hurt you. And so, I'm a kid. I'm the youngest. Okay. So they always got me to do stuff. And so I got me a big old dip of it and it grew in my mouth and it was just, I was so sick, y'all. I literally think I turned green. I was just so miserable. I went to the bathroom. Mama knocking on, you okay? You okay? What's wrong? Why are you so sick? She didn't know. And I'm in the bathroom just trying to get my bearings. I couldn't even see straight. I was so dizzy. And then my brother's out there laughing, just laughing. They think it's funny. Hee. We got old Chuck. How'd I get started? Oh, Brother Bill smoking bologna. That's how easily I can get off on something, y'all. That's how quickly I can do it. Smoking bologna in the smokehouse. Sounds good. Sounds like a winter to me. Yeah, it was a bad storm. Very bad storm. Hey there, OJ. Good to see you. Hey, good morning, D. Appreciate you coming in. Smash the like button. Working so listening. I understand. I do it all the time. There's Blenda Edwards, the only woman that has a name that is spelled exactly like my wife's. And I imagine growing up that you had probably even your teachers tell you were spelling it wrong, because Blenda did. She'd actually have her own teachers try and convince her that she was spelling her own name wrong. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And I need to shave. But anyway, I've never seen it. Blenda had never seen it until we run across Miss Blenda Edwards. I think we run across her at MT Homesteads live on Sundays. Got an instant kinship there. Blenda's best friend now. She don't even know her. Good morning, Rebecca Touched by Yarn. You get that hat done? I hope you did. I hope you did. You out watering? Hey, we don't have to water today. Got plenty of water. No Andale Live. I've seen that. I think I shared it too on my Facebook page, on my group page. She is getting ready for that Savannah trip or something, I think. Good morning, Bucky. Bunky, moderator extraordinaire. Y'all, I've had this song on my mind. I don't know why I had it. I don't know if I had it on my mind, but I had to get a song going. This drives me crazy. I'm gonna have to shave. To get prepared for this live. I mean, you gotta prepare, you gotta psych yourself. And there's a song, and I guess they've been out a while, but I'm always way behind everybody. I just am. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to mash the X on here. It didn't want to X out. There's a group called Little Big Town. And when they come out, I didn't listen to a lot of the modern country music. I really don't listen to just a lot of music anyway. Sometimes when we go on a trip, like me and Belinda's go, and we're going to be in the vehicle a good little ways, she'll get on her phone and she'll punch some buttons and she'll get like some old country or some old gospel or some old bluegrass. And she'll get some of that on there. Sometimes she likes the oldies, the bebop, anyway, just to pass the time of day. But so I didn't know this group, Little Big Town, but apparently they've been around for a long time. They got a song out called Sober. I said, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You know, I'm not watching no video, but I did. I watched it. And it's not talking about what I was thinking about, because it was saying, I don't want to die sober. And I was like, you know, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And the reason I say that, I've got a couple of uncles that pretty much died alcoholics, ruined their lives. And I know people do it, and look, you do what you want to do. And I used to do it. I used to drink, and there was times only by the grace of God that I ever made it home. I'll be honest with you, I was into it really big time. But I quit. You know, well, I met the Lord, and when I got saved, you know, it's. I didn't make me perfect by any means, but for whatever reason, that was taken away. That desire was taken away. And so I didn't want to listen to this song because I don't want to die sober. That's a stupid song. Well, I got to looking at it and listening to it, reading the words, and it's got a catchy tune. I mean, it's if you never heard it, go ahead. Said, I want to walk that line a little crooked and live my life a little on the rocks. Laugh at every time I fail, not afraid to make a fool of myself. Keep on dancing when the music stops. Because I love being in love. It's the best kind of drug. Drunk on the high, leaning on your shoulder, sweet like a wine as it gets older. When I die, I don't want to go sober. When I die, I don't want to go sober. You're like drinking from a never-ending bottle. When I think it's gone, there's always a little more left. Lay back with you and close my eyes. Let the big old world just spin on by and saying your name with my last breath. Because I love being in love. It's the best kind of drug. Drunk on the high, leaning on your shoulder, sweet like a wine as it gets older. When I die, I don't want to go sober. Oh, when I die, I don't want to go sober. And I can appreciate the sentiment because, I want to live my life and love. I have my wife, I have Belinda, and you know, anybody that's been married at any time at all and that is getting older, you think about things like this, and you think about, well, when I die, I want to go first, or I don't want to have to live my life without you. Or then I say, well, I don't want you to have to live your life without me, whatever. And it's a no-win situation. You know what I'm saying? There's really no. So the best situation, let's go together. Let's hold hands. You hear about these stories, and these old people, they're holding hands, and they both die together, or they die within an hour of each other. And I'm like, hey, that's what I'm putting my order in on that. Okay. That's what I want to do. I want to go, and I want to be holding Belinda's hand, and but I want to be old, y'all. I want to be like, my hair all gone and gray. If it's not gone, I want to be 110 years old. And, that way she'll be over 100. And we're holding hands, and maybe we're sitting out on the rocking chair or something, out on the back porch, because we're still that healthy that we can do that. Of course, we can't be that healthy if we're about to die. But anyway, I don't want to go sober. I like that. I like that concept. I want to be drunk on love, and that kind of drug, not the drug that everybody else is trying to convince you to get a hold of and think it's going to do something for you. And so me and Belinda, we went ahead and put in our order that when we died, 110, 103, 104, depending on the time of year, we done put in our order that we're going to go ahead and die and hold hands while we do it. And we'll just go ahead. We'll go meet the Lord together. We'll walk through the pearly gates side by side. Hey, Chef Kicker. Y'all all endured that, didn't you? Hey, Evan, good to see you, my friend. Hey, I really did enjoy that the maple syrup video you done. I mean, it kind of got all the points. Good morning, Byron. Good to see you, my friend. Good. Simulcast. That's what it is. Okay, I'm going to have to look into simulcast. Hey there, Ted. Good to see you, my friend. Ted generally does a premiere, I think a premiere on Wednesdays. And he does these baits, and I think he's going to do like a crappie jig. Tell me if I'm wrong, Ted, but it seemed like you mentioned something about doing a crappie jig, pouring it, pour the plastic in the molds, and cool stuff. Cool stuff. When I die, I don't want to go sober. I used to hide my in the street guardrail. Yeah. All us kids. You had to eat it? Oh my goodness. It'd make you sick, man. Make you sick. Squirrel. I know, Jesse. I'm world's worst at it. Yes, I did. And good deal. I appreciate it. Y'all, I'm going down through here, but I don't know if y'all noticed it or not. But today I have dropped a link at the top of this chat. And you want to come in and say hello. I'm not going to have up more than 2 at a time. But and if there's some come in, I'm going to very politely say, hey, we got some more people in here, and give you the opportunity to bow out, but only after you have discussed your channel and told me what a great channel and what all that you're doing. Good morning, Katie. So good to see you. You're late, but you're here. You're never late. Good morning, Misha, our good friend over there in Kansas. When I die, I don't want to go sober. PSB Odyssey. Howdy, Paul. Appreciate you chunking out those links this morning on Facebook. Good morning, Dale. Always good to see you. Thank you for sharing me out. Hey, and thanks everybody for sharing me out. Actually, I jumped. I was around 9:30 forever, but I jumped. I'm above 9:50 now, I think. With YouTube, who knows? It'll stick or it won't stick, whatever. But it all because of y'all. Y'all just pushed me, and Scott ran with the brooms. He's really pushed me out. all of y'all that have put me on your community tabs, and I just appreciate it so much. Hey there, buddy. Good morning, Nick, over there in Texas. Always good to see Nick. Little girl just turned 1 year old. Hey man, they fun. It's fun. It's fun. Yes, almost like it's our temper home. It is, isn't it? Hey, Dirt Road Destiny, don't you hate that internet? I'm hoping they're supposed to be getting. They're running some kind of lines. I know it'd probably take 2-3 years, but you never know. They may get on the ball, but they're supposed to be running some lines out here that we actually get good internet. Right now, I'm running off a hotspot, one of them little hotspot things. That's how I do all my internet stuff, and it seems to work pretty good most of the time. But if they could get the lines in, I think it'll help. Which I don't understand all that. I was just told that it would help our internet service. Good morning, Temple and Acres. Good to see you. I still don't know your name. Temple and Acres, but I did see you on another live earlier sometime, maybe yesterday. I love being in love. It's drunk on wine on your shoulder as it gets older. I don't want to go sober. Is it 9:50? Yeah, I think it was 9:55 yesterday. So it comes and goes. It comes and goes. Okay, thank you, OJ. Appreciate you coming in. It comes and goes. I don't know what's going on with my little live count thing up here because it's had 0 people in here the entire time. YouTube is going, which we all complain about them, but I don't care. I do care, but I don't care. Does that make sense? 2 pounds of free bacon for pickled quail eggs. Man, that's the score right there. That is a score. Put the dogs in. I've got the sweetest dogs. I really do. Our dogs, they're not huge, but they're big. I mean, they're fairly good sized dogs. One of them is a black lab, but he's not a tall black lab. He's kind of a small, stocky little black lab, but he's full-blooded black lab. And then the other one is a mix between a great white Pyrenees and we think some kind of hound dog, to be honest with you. Best we could figure it out. And they're both just sweet dogs. They love to bark. Now, you come up in the yard, they're going to bark at you. But if you pet them or give them a snack or whatever, they're your best friends. I mean, they will literally lick you to death. But especially like the UPS or the FedEx or people like that to come, they have discovered if they got little treats, little doggy treats, and our dogs just go crazy. They're like, they hear the FedEx, and if he passes us, they get all upset. They pout. But if they kind of pass and then kind of back up into the drive, oh man, they get all excited about that. But they're really sweet dogs. But a lot of people are scared of them, which I can understand because I'm scared of a big dog. Look, I went to visit somebody. When I first moved over here, I was getting to know some of my church members. I went to visit one of them, and I knocked on the door, and the lady answered the door, and they had this big old English bulldog. I don't know. His head had to have been that big around. And I was like, does your dog bite? Is he okay? He'll be all right. Oh no, he's fine. He's never bothered anybody. Next thing I know, I'm talking to this lady, and I feel something on my leg. This mutt has got my leg completely. I mean, he's got his jaws completely around my thigh. Now I got little legs. I got like chicken legs, chick, flamingo legs. But this dog, literally, he big old thing, had his jaws wrapped around my leg, and I panicked. I was like, "Ah!" And she got on to the dog. She said, "He ain't got no teeth." I was like, "Oh, oh." And he didn't. He didn't have no teeth, which made life a lot better on me. But she said, "My dog don't bite." And then there he is, munching on my leg, gumming my leg, trying to gum my leg. What's wrong with that dog? I wanted to drop kick it. I want to drop kick it through the living room. Y'all remember seeing the old Pink Panther, Inspector Clouseau? He goes into this place, and this little old dog's there growling. And he said, "Does your dog bite?" He said, "No, my dog don't bite." And he goes on, and then all of a sudden the dog starts getting on there and kicks it off. He said, "I thought you said your dog didn't bite." He said, "That's not my dog." Hey, you gotta love the old Professor Inspector Clouseau, the old. That's cool, hog hunter. Yeah, old Nick's a hog hunter. He's a hog hunter. You know what I like? If you take like the backbone, you cut it, little T-bone steaks or whatever, or you don't even have to do that, but leave the fat on it. The fat's where it's at. On them wild hog, at least in my experience. I made some one time, and I killed one out a friend of mine's property that just overrun with them. And I said, "Well, I don't know if the kids eat," because I never cooked it for the kids. I said, "Well, I don't know if the kids eat it or not." And so I went and got a pork loin and cut it up and grilled it right along with it. The store-bought pork loin, it was just left. I mean, they didn't even touch it once they got a hold of the wild one. It was good, y'all. It was fantastic. How I get off on that? Oh, Nick, yeah, Nick. But and I hadn't never made no bacon from a wild hog. I don't know if it, you can. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if you can or not. Nick may know, but I don't know. I just don't think they have this. You know, they're not raised the same. Anyway, that's just me. That's just me. Good morning, Kevin. Good to see you. I'm glad you're feeling better, Nick. Kevin had a shoulder surgery, if I understand right, and had to go through a lot of rehab and all that. And I know he's looking forward to get back to fishing. He's still unable to. A dog, you never know about a dog. That's right. Never say your dog won't bite. And that's what I tell them. They come up and they use dog. I said they never have. They always been good. They've never ever exhibited any kind of aggression toward anything but a chicken and a possum and a cat. They don't like cats. And so but you're right, you just never know. You never know. Dogs like chicken. They do that. Mine do. I'm sorry, Wendy. I don't know what's going on. It may be this weather. It may be because still, I mean, I still have no clue how many people's in here because it's not showing me. It's just saying 0, 0, 0, 0. And I don't know if my link is still at the top. Anybody want to come in and say hello and tell about your channel, or just sit here and talk, or just sit here like I do, just sit here and look pretty. I mean, that's what I do. That's what I do. Hey, hold on. Raquel, good to see you. The queen, here she is. Howdy to Raquel, the gorgeous horse whisperer and queen of the Great White North. Jesse got it going on, don't he? My spinach, I think, is Bolton. Yeah, only 14. That's kind of, I don't know. Generally, toward the end of the thing, it gets up to around 30 or so. But I don't know how long I'll go today because I just don't have nothing to talk about, and I can't get nobody up here to talk to me. And plus, this thing is saying that I'm not live yet. It's YouTube. I don't care. My parents are California. My old dog will still try to bite those cows even after being kicked. Yeah. I worry about our dogs because we got these cows next to us and they like to go over and bark. And I went and told my neighbor that actually has, I said, look, I try to keep my dogs away from cows. He said, well, I'm just worried about I'm not worried about the cows. He said, I'm worried about your dogs. I'm afraid one of them's going to get kicked in the head and it's going to kill him. And, know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Let's talk about Laurel. I don't want to talk about Laurel. What Laurel? Look, I don't know how they advertise this on TV. They got this show, Our Hometown or something like that. It's based out of Laurel, Mississippi. And I'm sure that on the advertisements and all, I'm sure that they make it look great. But Laurel's not that. It's not that much of a town, y'all. And I've never been to the hometown place part of it. I think Glenda has, but I'm telling you, Laurel, and you go to certain parts of Laurel, you get killed. It's like Jackson. You go to South Jackson, you get killed. And the same way in Laurel. If you don't know where you're going, you might just die. So I mean, I'd be careful, y'all. Don't let the editing skills of these people fool y'all into thinking that certain places are good. You better know where you're going. Know what you're getting into. Yeah, Jesse's been there, but I mean, tell Jesse, Laurel's not that great of a place. I mean, it's just not. I used to go to school over there. They had Southeastern Baptist College over there, and I got my associate's degree over there. I don't know why I done it. I just done it because I could. I hated it. I hated every moment of it. I hated school. But I was determined I was going to at least get my associate's degree with them. And I did. And so I roamed all over that place because I'd have time in between classes. I discovered they had this new thing come out called a TomTom back then. Some of y'all may remember it and I'd push in and I'd had my home or the base, the college as my base. And I would just drive and I'd get myself lost because I was trying to figure out the roads and stuff. And I'd just drive and turn and twist and turn until I had no clue where I was, didn't know which side was up, which side was down. And I could hit the button and it would lead me back. It would guide me back home. So I'm just telling you. You been through Laurel? You've been through Laurel? I'm trying to grow beans predominantly in buckets because my turkeys they'll eat it. Yeah. You got to have a way to keep them out there. Jesse been there, done that. Hoping for a greenhouse. Go ahead and get you one. Has its good and its bad neighborhoods. Just saying. Chickens don't get the free range, mostly because of predators, but also because I don't want them in my garden. Sounds like the mean streets of Purvis. Come on, Wendy. Anytime you're down here, you're more than welcome. We'll meet up. I'll treat you out to the barrel. To the barrel. Yeah, I understand. There's good places and bad places. But I'm telling you, just like you know the places around where you live, I know the places around where I live. And just because you've been there one time, don't make you an expert on it. Do you understand? Do you dig? Just because you've seen it on TV, don't make you an expert on it. I've been there. I've lived there. I got more than a T-shirt. I got the live-in experience. What is amaranth? Amaranth. I don't know what amaranth is. A neighbor chicken came over and been mating my girls. It's annoying. Well, now, this conversation's turned awkward. I love being in love. It's the best part of something. I'm kind of south central, D, around the Hattiesburg area. That's maybe true. That may be true. It may at least be more pleasant anyway, won't it? I love being in love. It's the best. And Hattiesburg. I mean, they get in places now. They talking about the WalMarts and the mall and place like that. And I know it's probably just one or two people, the odd chance, but it affects everybody, don't it? I mean, it affects your view. It affects your. It takes away from the good people that live there. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, do I? I don't really know what I'm talking about. Actually, that was on the edge of the sketch. On the edge of the sketch. And really, I that part, as far as hotels and stuff's concerned, you're probably all right. But there's really not a whole lot of hotels in Hattiesburg. I mean, they got some right there, but I'm sure it's just like anywhere else. It's you have your good places and your bad place. Who is Anna? I don't know who Anna is, Wendy. I just don't know. What was I talking about? I don't remember now. I just know that I love being in love. It's the best. Yes, Chuck just say you had to stay at the Etch-a-Sketch. Don't let Chuck. That's probably true. MC's Garden. Okay. I don't know them. Yeah, I'm probably not your best guide. I'm probably not. In fact, I probably would get us lost in one of those Etch-a-Sketch neighborhoods. And you'd already got the room, Jesse. When you that's hilarious. No free Wi-Fi at Etch-a-Sketch. That's funny. Y'all. Hey, Andale. I was about to say I'm about to get off here. You can stay on as long as you want today. No live for me. Packing up for the Soul Family Expo. Well, I would stay a little longer. I can't get nobody up here to say hello or nothing. I do not know where Marigold is. I have to look it up. There we go. Now we're getting some folks. Folks, feeling sorry for me. Hold on, let me turn you up. There you go. I was wondering why it wasn't too loud. Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning.
that the world's smallest violin?
That's it.
My dad always said it was the world's smallest Victrola.
Hey, Jesse, you know me. You know I like to fuss.
I know, but you left me hanging that when I was in Hattiesburg. I didn't know where to stay, and then I meet up with you, and you go, "Where you staying?" I'm saying, "I'm staying over here at the, I don't remember, Days Inn or wherever it was." He goes, "Oh my good, you talking about the one on the free?" Yeah. No, oh no, I know if I. And then you stayed 20 miles away. You were coming through, and you stayed 20 miles away. You left me hanging in Hattiesburg or wherever it was. I said, well, "Yep." But that's okay. We made it. I slept about 2 hours that night because I kept getting up, going out, looking and my vehicle was still there.
The gunshots were keeping you awake.
Yeah, that was a rough night for me that night after you told me that.
Well, I shouldn't have told you. I should have just let you sleep in blissful ignorance.
You should have, yeah.
Hey, but we ate pretty good. I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Folks, this guy took us to a restaurant that was on the river, and I mean it was an excellent restaurant, huge, fit, all you can eat, whatever you wanted to eat, basically, and it was an excellent place, hidden away. I'd never found it if you hadn't taken us. That thing was so far back in the woods. I mean, I started to feel like I was a redneck. That's how far back it was. I'm serious. I was waiting. Where the banjos at? I mean.
Hey, I'm sure there was some around there somewhere.
Yeah, it was deep, folks, deep.
That's a good place to be, though. I mean, it's a good.
Oh yeah, it was an excellent environment. I mean, beautiful area, But it was just way back. I'd have never found that had you not told us.
Hold on just a second. Thought I smelled smoke.
What? What kind of smoke you talking about? You talking about the kind that was behind the barn?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
You're telling that story about you and Snuff. I remember what my mom did to my oldest brother. He decided to start smoking cigars. She literally made him inhale, and he got so sick, and he hates them to this day. Hates them to this day. Okay, I'm never going to do that.
Hey, D.
I'm at work.
Oh, she's at work.
She said it worked.
No, she's at work.
Hey, I'm sorry. We just we only have one volume over here. Loud and louder. Actually, that's two.
Yeah.
I appreciate you hopping on, D. Jesse, it sounds like
I have it turned down.
Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm a whole lot better. We've been on Z-Pack or whatever it is. We went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Well, I got good news, and I got good news. Well, you don't have COVID, and you're not pregnant. So hey, I'm good with it. Me and Lisa are good." So those are the two worst things that could happen.
That was an awkward conversation, wasn't it?
Yep. Well, I'm talking about Lisa and I went together. We saw the same doctor, and we both were in the same room at the same time because we both have it, right? You don't have COVID, and you're not pregnant, so we're good to go. I said, I sure hope not. Not at 60. Yep.
Never know.
But yeah, you just never know. Things like that happen. Immaculate conception has happened before.
Yeah.
It
was in a special case now.
Well, you're right. Oh, by the way, Miss Ann's not having a live today. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's enjoying the good lives this morning. She's getting ready for her trip to Savannah, Georgia. Or, I guess she's going to be in Atlanta too, but they're getting ready for that meetup with Black's Tropical Homestead.
Hey, Paul. Oh, I'm sorry. D. I didn't mean to yell. didn't mean to interrupt your work. I hope you're not in the library.
Yeah.
But you got your earpiece in. I got
What the flock?
I'm on a
morning,
delay.
Oh, she's on a delay. That's okay. So D, if I can ask you, have you been able to do anything with that grass?
I was just checking on you. You about ready? You about ready? Don't forget the okay. And let me know when you get it.
Yes.
Oh, good. We were wondering about that. If it was still good by the time it got to you.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. What were we talking about?
I think Dee's looking at YouTube and not looking at StreamYard. That's why she's delayed.
Okay.
It's good if it's dried.
She said it's good if it's dried.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yo, I'm sorry. I am brain dead this morning. Y'all ever get that way?
Every day.
Nah.
I'm like that every day, brain dead. Everything starts early in the morning until I have my first cup.
First cup. I think this weather does it for me. I don't know what it is, but oh, y'all look. I had to I got my dad's truck and I got it a while back because it was missing. And I mean just kind of and he asked me if I'd look into it because I didn't want him to spend a lot of money on a truck that he wouldn't drive. I mean, he's 88 years old, y'all. He
Wow.
still drives, but I mean, I don't want him spending a bunch of. And they got another vehicle. They got a good vehicle that's
Reliable.
reliable. It's got air conditioning and heating and good. I mean, it's a nice vehicle. The
Right.
truck, on the other hand, is an antique. It's a 97, or what they consider antique. It's a 1997. And you never know. You know what I'm saying? It don't have no heat, don't have no air, and it jumps down the road. And so I said, instead of spending all that money on it, let me see if I can work on it. And I tried to work on it, and I did, and I got it working for a little bit. And it's actually, I had to take the EGR valve off, and it was all clogged up. I cleaned all that, put it all back together. And it run good for a while, but then I just let it sit for like 2 months. I didn't run it, didn't do anything, which is stupid. And when I went to recrank it, it cranked, but it's missing bad again. So, long story, even longer. I decided yesterday I was going to take it back apart. I was going to clean it back out, try and get it running good again. So I took everything off. You got to take the EGR valve off. You got to take the throttle body off. You got to clean all up in there. That's my fingernails all black. And I got it all done. And then last night I had Belinda holding the flashlight for me. Got it all put back together. And I went to clean up all my tools and I found a bolt.
Okay.
You heard?
A bolt? Yeah.
After I had already got everything together.
Okay.
After I'd already put everything back on, after I was done with the project, after I had said, what a great job.
That bolt there was there from that last dummy that worked on it.
It probably me. I was so proud of myself, Jesse. I had done all, and I'm not a mechanic. I'm not. I'm a horrible mechanic.
Yeah. And shade tree mechanics.
I'm not even up to that class.
Oh no.
But I was so proud of myself that I'd got everything together and got everything put back together. And I was like, I hadn't cranked it up. It ran. And I was like, I'm a mechanic. I'm great. And then I had this one bolt. All right, D. Thank you so much.
All right, D.
Great seeing you, D.
Well, you know what? I might confess myself. I'm not a mechanic. And I went to the mechanic school. I went to school when I was in high school. I took mechanic, and I was okay. You know, not even shade tree, but I was okay. I went to the military, and I was a mechanic in the military. But to this day, I tell you what, since they've changed everything on vehicles, I I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTube mechanic. If something goes wrong on my truck, I go YouTube it first.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you can find the answer on YouTube.
Well, that's how I figured this out. I mean,
exactly. So I went from knowing a little bit about vehicles to YouTubing it. Now I YouTube everything.
hey, YouTube has saved me a lot of money.
And you said a 97 was antique. Well, I'm 1962. What does that make me?
I'm not saying what I'm thinking.
A relic?
A relic.
A fossil.
A fossil. Well, I'm only a 1967, so I'm a little bit behind you. And I think Rebecca made a statement yesterday. I think she was in.
I was born in 61.
Oh, 61. I was thinking you was in
Wow.
the early.
Yeah, I was born in 61.
Yeah.
So you're got 6 years, so 61. But it's amazing how quickly time will pass you by.
I know.
It'll pass
Everybody,
you by.
when I tell people I was born in 61, they go, "No." I know. Okay, you don't have to believe me.
Yeah, D60. Oh, so she's born. So I was born in April. She's probably born sometime around there too. I bet you. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's May or April.
Hey D, I appreciate you coming up to. I'm sorry. I'm just in one of these moods today. I'm just in a mood.
Well, I just jumped up because I felt sorry for you.
My
Hey, I
dogs are
appreciate
telling
it. I'm
me
glad
it's time to
people
go
feel
out.
But I did appreciate. That's the first time I think I had ever just met D. Up, as far as on a thing like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen her in chats, but I've never talked to her. Guess that makes me ancient.
But I still can't figure out her name. She says it's Homestead in the Wood. One wood, one tree. What is? I mean, Homestead in the Wood.
You put with D.
What? But it's in the wood. Wood is a singular word. Hey, what's going on? That was Paul.
Hello.
That's Jesse.
Great to
Nice
see
to
you.
meet you.
That's Rebecca.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good one.
We sure will.
I got people.
I will
meeting.
anyway. But my dogs are telling me it's time to go out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave. I figured, hey, come up and at least relieve Chuck of being up here by himself, and then I seen you.
Rebecca, I thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate y'all having my back because I am.
Yes, I always will.
Hey, y'all see me up here floundering and just kind of stumbling over words. Y'all say, boy, that poor boy, I got to do something to help him out. And I appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
Well, I'm gonna get my boys, my 2 dogs outside so they can do their business.
All right, Rebecca. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day, everyone.
So Dee explains it. She says it's like most people live in the neighborhood, but she lives in the wood, Westwood.
She
Lives
lives.
in the wood. It's like being in the hood.
Yeah.
I got you.
Hey, that makes sense. I mean, it makes good sense.
It does.
I was I give away several of my rabbits.
I seen your rabbit video on the babies. That's awesome.
Aren't they cute? I mean, you can't
They're
get
so cute. I mean, they're little bitty too. I mean, they're just like tiny.
they just hadn't been too long opening their eyes.
Yeah.
And they just popped out of the box.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, I got rid of 1, 2, 3. I got rid of 3 of them.
What? You sold them?
No, I just give them away. I just
Oh.
these people around here. They had a lady up the road had some kids that do 4-H and all that, and Jesse, I have a problem. Well, I got many problems, obviously, but I can't sell anything. I'm not a salesman. I got things, and if somebody wants it, I'm like, okay, you can have it.
Well, hold on. If you're going to spill your heart, let me go ahead and write some notes down. Okay, so you have a problem.
I have a problem. I have many problems. But I can't.
Well, but what was the sole reason you started raising rabbits? What was the reason? Was it to give them away, or was it for meat?
It's for meat.
Well, you ain't gonna have no meat if you give them all away.
Well, these were the breed. These were the original. These were 3 of the ones that.
You started with.
How old they are. You know, I didn't know how old they were. I mean, they'd been fine, and I probably would have used them for meat if nobody would have took them. But I mean, it as soon as I put it on there, they was calling. But the reason I done that is I got one of my church members has some chinchilla rabbits. If it's people that know about rabbits, they know they're a bigger rabbit. They're like a little dog rabbit.
Are they edible, or are they more for pets?
No, they're edible. I mean, but they're bigger.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be more hardy down here. And plus, you know, they're bigger. So I wanted to make room for a pair of those. And he said he's going to give me a male and a female. And so we'll see. We'll see how that works. I don't get attached to them, Jesse.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that was raising them when I worked at Shell. And I tell you what, that's some of the best eating. I mean, they're cage raised, and they are some of the best. It tastes. I think it tastes better than chicken. It's like chicken, but it tastes better than chicken.
I guess probably all in the way that you prepare it. We had some that was really, really good, and then I had some that was really, really tough, and I think it's all. I mean, operator error. You know, I think it was me. Didn't know what I was doing and how to do it. Hey, Janice, good to see you.
Hey, Janice.
But I got these, but the breeding rabbits that I had, you know, I get kind of close to them.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm always in there feeding them and petting them and talking to them and all that kind of stuff. The babies, I don't get attached to them. They're, you know, once they get big enough and I put them in their own little, their grow out cage and all that, it's like they have no names. They have no identity with me. They're just, but I got the other ones named.
Right.
I'm getting soft in my old age, I think.
Well, I mean, as long as they can continue to breed for you, I don't know if a rabbit has a limit on how many times. I heard the rabbits could go forever, but I don't know that for sure.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they will.
I mean, like a chicken, you know, a chicken only has so many eggs, or hen has only so many eggs, and then that's it. Their body only has so many eggs in that body. You know, they can't lay eggs for 100 years. You know what I'm saying? They have a limit. I'm not sure if a rabbit has a limit.
You know, they probably do. They probably do. I mean, I don't know. I had to ask my daughter-in-law. She's a biology teacher there at the college.
Right.
I think there's only a certain amount. I mean, or up.
Well, obviously, I think, you know, the females probably wouldn't be fertile, right, after so many years. But I was wondering about the males. You know, how long can you use a male to breed? You know, rabbits. Are they limited to?
I would think a male would be until he died.
Yeah.
I would think that, but I mean, I don't know what I know. I'm just making stuff up. I mean, that's apparently how I do things. I just make up statistics and facts and.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question about something you said earlier in the chat? I mean, earlier in the live, you said that y'all had a 20-degree freeze and that you think you lost all your potatoes. Now, I would have thought that potatoes, because they're buried, it wouldn't be affected. I mean, unless your ground freezes.
Well, it got like 27, I think, which is cold.
Right.
But what it does, the leaves, they had already come up and the leaves got
Well, yeah, the little sprouts, the sprouts that came up were affected.
right. And
But there's more sprouts right underground. I would think that there's more sprouts ready to come up.
not necessarily. I mean, they're only I don't think they just continue to put up different I mean they put up that one or two or whatever it is,
Shoots, yeah.
and the shoots, and once they're through the ground, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I did notice there was some green coming out in the little, where the leaves are, where the stem and the leaves come together.
Right.
There was some green coming out of there, but the way
What could you have done different to save them? Could you have thrown like a bunch of leaves over them on top of them?
yeah.
Okay.
And I probably could have, if I'd have thought about it, which I don't know if I'd have had, and I've already got them healed up pretty good. I might could have just threw some more dirt over them. And that would have been all right.
Plastic wouldn't have done any good. I mean, I tell you who would know is that's Janice, who Where to Begin Homestead, because she deals with cold weather all the time. She's up in Kentucky.
Right.
And she's got lots of garden, so, but yeah, I would have thought that because they're underground, they wouldn't be, I'm sure the little sprouts would probably be affected, but the actual potato itself would probably try to regrow something else, huh?
Well, I don't know. I know last year I had some come up early and they had the green on them, and then they got a freeze and it killed those. And those never came back.
Yeah.
The ones that were still up under the ground, they come up and they done great. And I got plenty.
Well, I wouldn't dig them up then. I'd leave them there. You never know what can happen.
Yeah. Well, I went in between them.
Yeah.
I went in between them and planted
some other ones.
And so, I mean, they'll be a little bit later than normal. But I'm thinking they may put on some.
Yeah.
The person I watched said that what happens is they're going to put so much energy into making new leaves that it's going to affect the size of the potato.
Oh, okay.
Because it needs that green. It has to have the green to get in the nutrients
down to the potato. Right.
To store. Yeah.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah, she Wendy says she may have lost her potatoes, and I lost, which I had quite a few things, and I covered some too, Jesse. I covered some with plastic, some different plants. It didn't help.
Yeah, I would think that a lot of leaves or a lot of mulch, something to cover just the tops. Even if you cover the shoots, that would protect it. But I don't think plastic would work, because I tried plastic on one of my trees and it didn't work.
No,
my tree died like a big tub. And it was a guava tree. We just planted it this year too.
Oh, that's kind of heartbreaking when you lose one.
Yeah.
Especially,
it was about 7 or 8 foot tall, and we had that one day. I mean, I planted it like 2 months before this. One day come through with freeze. It's like, oh my gosh.
I done that with one row, and I probably need to just go out there and do it with all of them. But I mean, it's been a week, but it looks like they're putting on new leaves, so I may go out there and do that.
Yeah.
I thought one year.
My sprouts are about 2 feet tall.
I thought one year. It's been several years ago. They come up and they was getting off. And I won't say I come through there with my weed eater and cut the tops off of them, and they come out, because I was thinking if I'd done that, then maybe they'll focus on the potatoes more. But
Lisa's potatoes are about 2 foot tall.
12 litters per year? No, I ain't doing that to mine. I 12 litters per year. I don't see how they do that.
That's a lot. Well, rabbits are known for having lots of babies, wild rabbits especially.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know ours is, I think, every 32 days. But still, I mean, that means that they're bred, then 32 days later they have babies, unless you bred them
right away.
right away. I just that'd be tough on the old gal, wouldn't it?
Sure would.
I don't think I could do that. Yeah, they don't have time to feed and wean a litter. That's right. Yeah, I just don't think I would do that to them.
How long does it take to wean them? 6 weeks?
I can't remember. I don't think it's that long.
Well, okay. Well, even if it's a couple of weeks, you still got to give them a couple of weeks to do that, right? And then think about breeding them again.
It may be, Jesse. It may be 6 weeks. I was thinking 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know. Gwen may know, or Wendy may know. Somebody that deals with rabbits. I'm just getting into this rabbit stuff, so I'm not. I mean, I looked at it. That was the max possible. Yeah, I just think it'd be. I read somewhere that if using a rabbit, one male, one female, that they put out the same amount of meat as a side of as a cow. And I'm like, I don't believe that. But I guess they're going from the statistic. If you do it like what Misha was looking up about the 12 litters per year.
Yeah.
The average amount of rabbits that you might get from them. But that don't happen. I mean, we live in the real world where you have litters die and you have cold or hot or
right.
It's just like a puppy mill.
Stresses. Yeah.
stresses. Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, I guess there's probably some places that do it that's what they do for a living, that they probably have setups that they could do it with, but us little backyard farmers, we don't. We don't have all that. Gwen said 6 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I would give the rabbit at least that much time before you try to rebreed them again.
I talked with Glenn and Jessica.
Gathered together.
Yeah. And Glenn gave me all this information before I even got into it. But I mean, this has been over a year that I've got the information. So what I learned last year has left the building like Elvis.
Yeah. Gone. Like
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
So I've got to go back and relearn a lot of stuff. Jesse, you were doing that thing with Scott. What do you call that?
Well, it's been called several things, but we just call it co-stream. So where two people can stream the same live, and it's going out to the two different audiences. So my audience and his audience are both getting the announcements, and then I would get the watch hours for my audience, and you would get the watch hours for your audience. So basically, you're getting watch hours for both.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need to look into that, because to me it would be it would be good, like if you had a guest on, or if you wanted to have a guest to do both of them.
Correct. Well, the thing is, it has to be initiated by somebody who is a paid subscriber to StreamYard. So if you're when you pay the yearly subscription, then you can initiate the co-stream. And then anybody who's on YouTube, whether you're paid or not paid, StreamYard I meant, anybody who's on there, paid or non-paid, you can use it free, can enjoy the benefit of the co-stream. But it has to be initiated by somebody who's a paid StreamYard purchaser.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
But it works. We did it with four different streams. So when we did it the other day, it was me, Scott, who he initiated it. I did the first initiation on my side, and then we tried it with his, and then we brought in Miss Ann, and we brought in who was Jerry from
Jerry
Butler Family Farm, and we had people from YouTube, people from Facebook, Instagram, all those that were following Miss Ann, all of them in the same live, which it really does. It does. I mean, what it does is it brings all these communities together that wouldn't normally be there if you just had 3 people come up on your live.
right.
Because normally it would just be those 3 people, but now you have those 3 people plus all their people that follow them on their channel.
Seemed like I seen Remy too.
Well,
Remy,
so that, yeah, we did that with Remy when we did mine. So I initiated it first, and we brought Remy on, and then when we got off with mine, we tested it with Scott's, and that's when we brought in Miss Ann and Jerry Butler.
okay.
Yeah, it worked great. It worked great.
But you only get the hours for people that are on your channel.
Correct. And what,
Okay,
whoever,
it's not like it combines all,
No.
everybody
no, you're only getting the watch hours for the people that are watching through your channel.
through your channel. I got you.
Yeah.
I
But
got you.
that's better than, like I said, that's better than you just coming up on my channel and nobody comes with you.
right.
Because what it does is whenever I'm streaming and I say, Chuck, come on up, and I'm going to bring you up for whatever, you have a choice to either come up or you can hit the blue button that says, do you want to send this to your destination, meaning your channel?
Right.
If you say yes, then it'll advise all your people that, hey, Chuck's just going live right now. And then you're really live on our channel, but you're live and you're letting your people know as well. So they'll come up and you'll get credit for that. Views and watch hours.
I can see where that'd be beneficial in the for somebody like, say, if you initiated it and you got me up there on your channel, and the people that followed me didn't follow you necessarily. Like a lot of ours are interchangeable.
Correct.
As far as our friends and people that we associate with, but I'm sure there's some that's not.
Right.
But they would at least from my channel get to be introduced to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, that's what happened the other day. Miss Ann introduced her channel to us, and I picked up a few from Ann, and which I probably would have never. They would have never known me had she not jumped up with her folks.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's Jerry right there. Jerry was on there. He was
Yeah,
one
Jerry
of them
Right.
helping you out there. But I thought that was pretty neat. There's all.
Yeah, that's a new functionality. I mean, there's another company or another platform called Restream that I've been on the Restream, but this one here is just, to me, so much easier using StreamYard, because StreamYard has the giveaway tools you can use, has the comment picker, all that kind of stuff, right? And we don't have that. You don't have that with Restream. So, and I use the giveaway tool a lot, if you know what I mean.
She's back there. Oh, what's she doing? Oh,
She's probably eating breakfast back there.
hey, Lisa.
Yeah, she's eating her yogurt and she's eating her breakfast. She's back there in the shipping department.
She doing all right too? Wasn't she sick as well?
Yeah, we've both been sick. So Toby sees a little dog outside.
Toby.
Toby sees a dog outside.
Y'all didn't bring that dog with you when y'all came through this direction, did you?
No, we left him in hey. No, we left him in storage, whatever you want to call it. He was at the pet hotel.
I thought maybe your son may have watched him, watched over him, left him at the house.
No, I couldn't trust my son with my pocket knife. No, there's no way. No, he's just not very reliable when it comes to keeping the dog. Hey, is a dog inside? I think so. I have to go back and look, and my dog be stuck in the backyard, you know. So no, we don't put that kind of responsibility on him. So we put him in the pet hotel when we went there, And then we went to Oregon. We took him with us. He was perfect. I mean, I thought we were going to have problems, but we had no problems whatsoever when we went to Oregon and back.
Well, I mean, I used to carry mine around with me back when I was a single guy, and I had it was a mix, a Chihuahua mixed with something. It's a little bitty old dog. It was my squirrel dog. And she's about as good a squirrel hunter as I was. But I took her to Texas. I took her to Tennessee. I took her to Georgia, just traveling, working in different places. And I took her everywhere. Well, she was my compadre. But
What was her name? What was her name?
Tiger.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was a little, and my sister always fussed at me. I had another one called Bear, but that was the mama, and my sister was always mad at me because I would name them that. That's not girl names. That's not a girl name. I thought, well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, he's now, so we're not gonna.
Well, I've named this one Toby because he's all black, and Kunta Kinte didn't sound right, so I just said we'll just name him Toby.
Tupa what?
Kunta Kinte. You don't remember the movie Roots? The movie Roots. Well,
I remember the movie, but I don't remember nothing about it.
There was a movie called Roots, and I think people my age would remember it. And it was about a slave that was brought to America. His name was from Africa, and his name was Kunta Kinte. And they didn't want to name him that, so they named him Toby. So, but it was a true story, and so that's why I named Toby, because he was all black.
I remember the movie, but I don't know if I ever watched it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
There's like had Oprah Winfrey in it or something.
No,
that was the color purple.
That's the color purple.
Purple.
Yeah,
but I remember Roots. I remember that.
It was a novel by Alex Haley. It was based on a true story.
It was like,
okay.
And this is back in the 70s, maybe even 80s, but long time ago. And then there's another movie called 12 Days a Slave. If you've never seen that movie called 12 Days a Slave, it's based on a true story about a free man who was enslaved after he went on a trip somewhere, and they mistook him for somebody who wasn't. And so he was enslaved for 12 years before he could get back to his family. 12 years of slave. It's a good movie.
Brad Pitt's in that one.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's in that movie too.
Towards the end.
Wait, what's the name of it one more time?
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave, and it's based on a true story. And if you haven't seen it, you can probably find it on Netflix or YouTube or maybe even on Amazon Prime or whatever, or Amazon TV. I love those I love true stories. I mean, I can watch true stories all the time. What do you say, Jerry?
Good morning, gentlemen, and hi, Lisa.
Hello.
How are you guys doing? Were you guys talking about me?
All the time.
Well, my ears were burning again. I wish you guys would stop it because it can't. I can feel it.
Yeah. No, we were just talking about the co-streaming. We did the other day with Scott. And look at that horse you got behind you, Bubba.
Who?
You.
She's not a horse.
Look how big that thing is.
She's just there's two of them there. She's my baby lapdog.
That lapdog. Oh my God, that's a horse. That's a mini horse.
I sit on the couch and she wants to lay in my lap.
Dog.
Hey.
I had to look twice, Jesse, because I said, "What are you talking about?" And it took me a minute for my eyes to focus on.
Look how big that thing is.
That's Jewel back there, and this is Lily.
Looks like
there's Hunter.
Oh, there's another one.
That's Hunter.
They just keep coming.
I thought all dogs went to heaven, not to Missouri.
He froze. Jerry froze.
Jerry froze.
No, we all froze. I lost the whole picture.
No, you were the only one that froze. We were still good.
Yeah. We were still talking about you.
Yeah, we're still talking about you. Now you see, froze again.
I think he is froze again. His dog come in.
Yeah.
Disrupted it. There you are.
Yeah, it popped in and out.
Yeah, your internet's giving you problems.
Well, it's country. Right? They have to go out and feed the squirrels, make them run faster.
Yeah, and Dale knows. See, oh gosh, if you ever watch Roots, you would remember.
I never watched it. I mean, I remember when it come out.
It's a mini series. It's like 8 days long. I mean, it's like eight different movies called Roots. It was that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't remember all that. We didn't when I was. When did it
was a
come
kid.
out?
I was a kid. It was in the 70s. I was a kid when it came out. Yeah.
I don't even know if we had a TV at that time. To be honest with you, I mean, we went for years without having a TV or anything. And then when we did, it was. I mean, we very rarely watched it except for when that stinking Lawrence Welk come on. Lawrence Welk show. I hate it.
That was on Sundays.
I don't know, Dad. I always had to watch it, but I hated it. I hated it with a passion as a kid. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever, but they loved it.
I didn't watch that either. But I remember they had Sullivan Show. We used to watch it every Sunday too.
Yeah.
I never watched Ed Sullivan.
Not to change the subject, Chuck, but before I forget, because I'm one because if I don't say it, I'm gonna forget it. How are you on your watch hours? I think you probably got your watch hours, right? I know you're about.
I don't know, Jesse. I last I seen, my watch hours have gone down dramatically for some reason. I don't know what the deal is.
Okay, so I'll tell you what the deal is. So let's say right now you have 900 hours. It looks back it's a year thing. So today you have 900, but a year ago, yesterday, you may have had, let's say 20. Well, that once it goes to the next day, you lose that 20 because you're losing. Remember, it's a rolling year, right? So a rolling total. So as you gain, you're going to drop off a year ago. So it's always rolling. So that's why you seem like one day you go up, next day you go down. It's because it's a rolling count.
Yeah, I was at 1994 yesterday. I'm at 1993 today. And I had back a year ago, I wrote this down because I was trying to figure it out. A year ago, I had 0.8 video hours on that one day.
Yeah, so it drops off. So as you gain the day a year ago, yesterday, it dropped off. So
yep. And tomorrow I should pick up, I think 5 hours or something like that tomorrow.
Right.
I was like 30 something hundred, 30. At one time I was like 3,500, and then I think it dropped down. It may be dropped down even worse now. But
are you at the 1K yet, Chuck?
What's that? No,
it's 50. He's like 48 or 45 away from it.
I knew it was close. I've been trying to,
but
get people to go
he's been doing lives for, seemed like ages now. So I figured you would have had your 4,000. But if not, we need to get your watch hours up. So that means people need to run your playlist. So if you guys can get in there and run,
I'll run. Chuck,
playlist. That'll give him the watch hours that he needs.
We found out last night that if you're running your own list on your own thing, if you can't run it more than once every 45 days.
Correct. You can only do now. You can do it on several channels, but you can only do one on your own.
Right.
Every 45 days, it won't count.
We were talking last night that we think it's your IP address. So if you're running on, like my son's running it on his computer and I'm running on our computer, it's the same IP address.
Yep.
And so it only counts from one of us running it. So you have to have a different IP address if you have a router.
Wendy, I think you got another issue you might need to check into. It may be something on the YouTube studio side of it that's not calculating it correct, or not calculating it at all, because you should be getting watch hours, especially since you put out content.
I got to thinking that, and a lot of it's my fault. I hadn't put out quite as much actual content. I put out a short here and there, but that don't really count for nothing.
Well, we also something else we can do is we can do one of them co-streams, and I can start a live and then bring you up, and then that'll help with your watch hours. It, like Andale says, it's coming, Chuck. I'll run your list too.
I wanted to get closer because some people, I mean, they jump and they get it, but it seemed like the way that I have grown from day one is I get, 20, and kind of just a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there. It's done that the entire time. It's been like a slow. It's been
Chuck.
pretty steady, but it's
Chuck, do you remember a year ago when we went to Kentucky?
Yeah.
So when we went to Kentucky, I had like 1,700 hours. Before I left Kentucky, I had my 4,000 hours.
Yeah.
Why? Because I was live the whole time, the whole drive there. I was live the whole time I was there, and then I was live on the way back. And
So what date was that, Jesse?
I'm sorry.
What date was that?
Oh, that was a year ago in what was it? October?
June.
June.
Was it June?
Last October? A year ago, last October.
I think it was a year ago, June. I think.
So those are dropped off already.
No, if it's a year ago, they haven't dropped off yet. The thing is I already got my 4,000 watch hours, but I got it. I got my.
It was the middle of last year.
Yeah, it was the middle of last year sometime, but I got my 4,000. I got my 4,000 watch hours the same time I got my 1K. So they happened simultaneously. But when I left to Kentucky, I was only at 1,700 hours. So that's how quick the hours. I mean, I was getting like every time we went live, like it would be 300, 800, 300, 200. I was getting a ton of watch hours. But what helped is I was having like 40 or 50 people in the live.
Right.
So it was a lot of, but we did a lot of road trip, and that'll get you too, Chuck, give you a lot of watch hours getting those road trip lives. I mean, people can come in and come out. They can go in and out. They don't have to be there the whole time.
Right.
And
I know when you came to Hattiesburg, we went to that restaurant. We done a live out there, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And but it didn't last. We didn't last long on that. Yours probably came more from when you was on the road.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was on the road. Remember, we picked up Danny. We picked up Danny, and then we were there. We was live all the way to when we got to the hotel, and Jan jumped on my truck. She jumped through my window, just tried to get in there to meet us. But it was wow, But I just can't say enough for going live while on the road, because you can get a lot of watch hours on the road, and your numbers will definitely fluctuate.
I'm not that interested in. I mean, I don't care that much about the monetization, other than that's a goal that you're trying to attain to. I mean, most everybody does. Obviously, I don't think.
Well, I said the same thing, Chuck. But now once we went live, once we get monetized, it's like, it's like a weight went off your shoulder. Now I'm not have to worry about that. Now I'm just worried about putting out content that people will watch, because after you get monetized, sub count doesn't matter. Views is what they want. They want views,
right?
And they want views because they put in commercials, or ads on those videos, so because the bottom line is they want to make money, and they make money through ads. So they don't care about subscribers. After you get monetized, it's all about views.
Hey there, NDT.
I definitely have that.
Speaking of Mennonite, she just hit 11,000. Was it 11,000, Lisa? Right?
11,000.
She hit 11,000 subscribers. Not that it matters, but guess what? When you got 11,000 subscribers watching your videos, that's a lot of views. A lot of views. So, and a little check every month doesn't hurt, So it just adds that back into the, the feed, chicken feed, rabbit feed, whatever a little bit here and
Jesse,
there.
she says on here that you need to maintain the 4,000 watch hours. I was told the other day you don't need to maintain that.
No, you
drop down.
No, you still, but trust me, you'll maintain it, because you're still putting out content. It's gonna be because remember, once you reach, you're still adding every day. You're adding. Yeah,
you got every day you're losing too. Right,
but it unless you totally stop doing anything on your channel, it's going to continue to go up.
Okay.
Unless you just, hey, we're not doing nothing for the next 6 months. Well, then you might have a problem.
You're gonna have to. I was thinking about that, Jesse. As far as which you had a trip to Oregon and all that, but you're talking about back in September, and you was on the road going to Kentucky, going back to Texas. that was a lot of watch hours within a week's time.
Right. Within about a week. Like I said, we were at like 17 something. And then
Right.
we got to Kentucky and I reached my 4,000 watch hours while I was in Kentucky.
But what I'm saying is this time or that time, when that time comes up this year, those hours will drop off. Like if you got 1,000 watch hours or whatever within that week, then 1,000 hours would drop off. So
yeah, but I'm averaging probably between 600 and 1,000 watch hours a month.
okay. Yeah.
So it's like I said, unless you stop doing something altogether, you're going to continue to get watch hours, and we're continuing to do our lives. We do lives every other Saturday, unless I jump on with somebody. We do lives every other Saturday, and we get a ton of watch hours there. But
Ann says you don't have to maintain that 4,000, but you do have to remain active.
correct.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Okay.
Like I said, you're gonna, and you know, I don't even know how many. I don't even watch the watch hours because it's a no brainer. I mean, it's no issue. But like I said, unless you stop doing something, you're going to continue to gain not only watch hours but views and subscribers.
I think I overthink this thing too much because I want to put out content that I would watch, and then I put something out and I think that's the stupidest thing I ever seen, but I got to put it out because I already made it. And then I get to thinking, I keep putting it off because I just don't think, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just don't think it's good enough, or I don't think it's,
well, you're your worst critic. I mean, you really are. You're going to say I'd say the same. Every video I put out, I say, nah, this ain't going to do well. And then I'm surprised. Sometimes it does really good. I put out a McDonald's sign short the other day, and it got over 2,000 views. I put out a dog short, and it got over 2,000 views. Thinking, who? I mean, you just never know.
Yeah.
And the one you do really think, oh, this is awesome, this is great. It goes, it tanks.
Hardly ever. And I think some of it has to do with the day that you put it out, or the time that you put it out too.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about everything. The time of day, who the audience is, what your title looks like, or how it is written. Your thumbnail has a big portion to do with it. It all adds to the success of that video. It really does.
Look at Leanne. She don't put out content that she's not happy with.
Yeah, but look how many subscribers she's already got. Can't be picky at first, I don't think.
Yeah, but I remember Miss Leanne when she was less than 1,000.
Yeah.
She has gone up, and I'm telling you, she's the collab queen. Everybody wants her in a collab. Yeah. If you got a video, you want to put out a chicken video, you're going to be calling, and you want to do a collaboration, you're going to be calling Leanne saying, Leanne, will you join my collab? Well, when they do that, everybody flocks to the collabs, and that's why she's done so well. She's in everybody's collaboration.
And I guess another thing with me, I go from one thing to the next too, because I do get bored pretty easy. And
well, you're probably like me, Chuck. I don't mind doing the videos. I hate editing. Some people love editing, but I hate editing.
I love editing. Jesse, just send all your stuff to me. I'll edit it for you. I love editing.
Well, Jerry, I'd love to let you do it, but it just takes. Here's the deal: for every minute of video, it takes 1 hour editing time. That's the average. 1 hour for every minute.
Not for me.
If you have a 12-minute video, that's 12 hours or more that you put into editing.
That's not for me. I put out a 30-minute video. I can do it. I usually could edit about 3 hours.
Wow.
Well, you're better than I am then. But I'm using DaVinci. DaVinci's a pretty complex.
I use a Filmora 12 now, and DaVinci look almost like identical to each other. So it all depends on if you're trying to do, like one of the guys said, you do it for 40-second clips. I don't do that. I mean, our videos are what we do every day. So when we start recording, we're recording what happens. Now I'll cut out something that's dead time or something like that, but I don't cut out when we're talking on about what's going on and stuff. We use ours everyday life. It's, you see what we do, what's happening. The only thing I take out is if there's an accident and there's blood or something like that, don't need to show that stuff. Or if there's a dead animal or something like that, I don't show that. But everything we record it. It's what's happening right now. It's
Yeah, well, our videos are all lies and dead time.
No, it's not.
No.
I've been on your videos. I've watched your videos for hours and hours.
Yeah.
But I just put out content, of what's happening. So I don't, some people say you got to tell a story. Well, this is a farm. That's a story in itself, so you don't really, have to cut it all up and show bits and pieces. If you're doing a farm and you're working on a project, that's the project. Now you may not want to show the whole time length of it, but you can show the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yeah.
Ann said, I just decided to have fun. I do that too, Ann, but then I guess I go up and down it because every day with me is a roller coaster, I reckon. But because there's some days that's all I think, well, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just enjoying myself. And I do. When I have fun, I really enjoy it. But then when I get to thinking I really need to put out something of substance, then I get.
So, Jerry, have you put out a cooking video yet?
I put out 4.
Like a recipe, cooking with a recipe.
We've been on collaborations, like the last Chance Cook-Off. We've done that. We did November.
If you do a cooking video recipe, and Chuck will attest to this, you're going to have a lot of editing. Trust me.
I didn't have a lot of editing. We planned it out ahead of time, what we're going to do and what we're going to show. Yeah. Like we did our chili one. The chilies, what was that? February chilies or
the chili.
We did the chili one, and we planned it out ahead of time, and we shot it, and it took me about an hour and a half to edit it. It took me longer to type in the recipe on the description than it did to edit the video to begin with.
Well, see, but that's something else. I don't put it in the description. I'll go and create a recipe card. Then I'll also put it on my description using bit.ly.com, and it's in Google Docs. So I do all that behind the stuff.
I didn't do all that stuff. I just put it on the description.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned too, though, I've learned how to edit a little bit better than, when I first started out, I was like having to just throw stuff away because I would think I got something in there in the background that I didn't want, or I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know that you could frame the clips and all that. And there's a lot of my ums. I say a lot. A
lot of people do.
There's no telling how many of those I clip out of a video nowadays. It's a regular thing. Hey there, Back Road Hillbillies. Good to see you. I just don't want to worry about copyrights and taxes.
Oh no!
Don't tell about all my secrets or tricks.
No, she taught me everything I know. I mean, Leanne is a good editor. She really is. And she taught me some tricks about editing and the recipe cards. I used to just put it all in the description. But the problem with that is, Jerry, is not everybody can print that. But if you put a link in there where they can go to a recipe card, they can print that recipe card just like it is on a recipe card.
I'll have to keep that in mind for the next one. And then the next collaboration we're in is
a lot of work though.
Catch, Clean, and Cook one that 9 Acres is putting on in April. It's you out fish. You go catch your fish and clean the fish and then cook the fish. Or any seafood you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to set up a thing for me to go to Alaska and catch some crab and come back.
I like what Andy said. I still don't know how to edit. What you see is what you get.
That's right. That's how basically what I am.
Yeah.
I'm not
and Dale,
good
I'll have to learn how to do it, and then I can let you know if I maybe we can get Leanne to show both of us.
Yeah, I don't. I get distracted on things, and I forget to put like in the description, like the recipes and the.
Well, the other thing, when you do the recipe card, the website that we use, it gives you analytics. It tells you how many people have gone and printed off that recipe
Oh,
card.
it does.
Yeah,
Oh, I know
it tells
that.
me. So if I put out a video today, oh man, it's got 50 people that's already printed the recipe. So it's just a little analytics. Not that it makes any difference, but there's some recipes cards I've got 2, and then some people, 25, 35, 55, whatever. It's good to see that your video is.
Well, Jesse, one thing about that is I had somebody tell me, when I cook, I don't measure. And I said, no, I really don't measure. I can't. Somebody says, how much did you use? And I go, about this much. I mean, because that's how I've cooked for years. I've put in what I think needs to be put in there, and it's always come out. So it's like a friend of mine said, well, you just have the chef ability. You just know what to put in there when you put it in there. And I go, well, I'm sorry, but that's how I cook. I don't really. My wife said, you never measure nothing. I said, no, but have I ever had any that ever failed? She goes, no. And I said, you measure everything. She goes, yes. And I said, have you had some that failed? She goes, yes.
But even you do that, you put that down as a measurement. Hey, a pinch here, scoop here, a handful here. That's part of a recipe. That's what it is.
I guess so. It's just, I've just got to add things as I go too sometimes.
The only problem is, people that are watching their diet for whatever reason, they need to know precisely how much it is because they can't have this much gluten or that much salt.
That's true.
Much,
or people who use measurements will have a hard time following
Yes.
your thing. Like me, I would like, well, how much is that? And is that a half a cup or 3/4?
Yeah, and when you say a scoop, what kind of scoop is it? Your hand scoop, or my hand scoop? It's like our different.
Yeah, so I think people would tend not to want to print that recipe,
right?
If you don't have measurements and stuff.
Right, I understand. I agree with Lisa a lot, but sometimes I don't want people to know my recipe.
Well, that's
Well, here's the deal. Then don't do the video because if you do the video, they want to know the recipe.
Yeah.
I don't worry so much about the exact measurements when people are cooking, like if they're cooking a roast or if they're cooking a lasagna or they're cooking something like that, some kind of gumbo. I don't worry so much about the precise measurements of how much they put in there on that. But I do like on things like if you're canning jelly or making jelly or jam or something along that line, because that's pretty important. I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's safety. That's safety involved there.
Yeah, I agree with that stuff.
And two, when like in cooking, I'm like Jerry. I'm like when I cook, I don't know measurements and nothing. I just put it in because that's what I've always done. When I watch somebody else's video and I see, I'm just basically getting the idea. This is what they're cooking. They're cooking stuffed poblano peppers or whatever. I can do it exactly like they do it, or else I can just take the idea, the overall concept of it, and make my own. I don't know why that stupid dog's barking out there.
He's probably yelling at the FedEx man or the Amazon guy.
Or the postman.
They're bringing me some dog biscuits.
The FedEx guy's just going to drive by the road and chunk next time.
Yep.
Yeah. Where's my biscuits? That's what they're yelling. Where's my biscuits?
Where's my biscuit? And dogs. And they can be so sweet too. I mean, at times they can be real nice, and then other times they will just drive.
They go all Cujo on them.
They do. And Glenda, she laughs at me. She said, "Chuck, I think you like yelling at them dogs." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, you just love having to get up and go out there and tell them to be quiet because you do it all the time. I'm like, maybe I do. It's a little game we play.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't bark, if the dog's barking, you don't go yell at them. They'll come looking for you and want to know what's wrong with you.
Well, I tried that. I tried that reverse psychology on them. It don't work on dogs.
Hey, that brings me content. Now you talking about content. You ought to do a video, put a video tripod out there. You run out there and you act like you passed out and see what the dogs do. That'd be a good little short there.
Somebody was telling me that what is big nowadays is like hacks. Is that the right word?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's certain hacks to do things like
Tricks, yeah, little tricks.
but I don't know any hacks. Back when I was around, a hack was a person.
Yeah.
You know, of bad repute.
But you know a lot of hacks, Chuck. You're just not thinking about it. So if you had a squeaky door, what would you do? Crisco.
Yeah, I'd spray WD on it.
No,
Yeah,
but
BD.
I mean, but that's what naturally what some people do. But what if somebody doesn't have no WD-40? Crisco.
Crisco.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you got scaly feet, you ain't gonna have none of that stuff from Walgreens. You can put on Crisco.
As you can tell,
You're just trying to sell oil, Jesse. I know what you're trying to do.
No, Crisco is not an oil-based
we
product.
watched The Help the other day. That's why.
Grease is not an oil-based product.
No, lard is the Crisco is a lard. It comes from pig. I mean,
Yeah, but
cow
it's
fat.
processed.
It doesn't
Crisco's
matter.
processed.
It's still not oil. It's not a petroleum product. Yeah,
Okay, I thought it was.
No, but
And you're
Crisco.
trying
If you
to pad your retirement is what I thought you're doing.
If you watch the movie The Help, there's a little scene in there about how to use Crisco, and basically that's the hacks that you're talking about, Chuck. And you probably do hacks out there with you doing your woodworking and stuff, and you use what you have. That's a hack. Whenever
That's
Yes, sir,
farming.
but I don't think of it as hacks. I just think of it as doing. You know?
yeah,
We
Yeah.
call it baling wire and duct tape.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's a hack. Baling wire and duct
You
tape.
know, if you got duct tape, baling wire, and tie wraps, dude, you can build a Taj Mahal.
Yep.
Y'all just described my trellis. That seriously, that's what it's put together with.
Full of oil.
So
Hey, I see Lisa.
I'm here.
Let's go.
it's not just for chicken.
It's for
What
Dorothy.
she say it was? It was full of oil.
It's full of oil. Yeah, it's got
See?
soybean oil, fully hydrogenated palm oil,
I thought.
mono
See?
glycerides.
Supporting
TBHQ,
oil companies.
Not that kind of oil.
I'm messing with you,
I'd never cook with
Jesse. Black
petroleum
oil.
Trust me.
I'm messing with you. I knew that oil. Oil's where you come from. So anytime it comes to oil, I think Jesse.
I think the only person that probably does not use Crisco is probably Mennonite. You know, 'cause she's all in that healthy stuff.
Y'all,
I don't know.
I'm looking at the time, and we're gonna have to get off here. Is Danny going on today?
I don't know if you know if Danny's going on today. I haven't seen a notice yet.
Okay.
No, but sometimes because she's trying to get to the library, so she doesn't know if she can get to the library, get in there and do it. So she may come on in 11:15. You know.
Well,
And
I think
I
it's probably
seen
the
her-
longest that I've ever gone on a live. And
Because you had good company today.
well, I had great company. I had superb company. But what's that?
She's not going on today.
She's not going on today, so you got another hour.
You need those watch hours. Might as well stay
You
up.
need the watch hours, right? How many you got watching right now? How many's in the
I
chat?
don't know.
12
I got
watching.
0.
You got 12
14 I
watching.
got.
I got 0 watching.
No, you got 12. Now, so that little ticker on the top of it was giving me problems the other day too. It kept showing 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then at the end of the live, it popped up. So I don't know if it's StreamYard not communicating with YouTube or YouTube not communicating with StreamYard. It's one of the two. But it's
Well,
giving
that
me
just
that number.
recently started happening because I noticed it before. It was working before. Now it's just all of a sudden stopped working.
Yeah, it's hit and miss. It's hit and miss. So I don't know. But I will say this, Chuck. I know you're fixing to get off. Lisa and I plan on going to the Houston Farmers Market this Friday. So we plan on trying to go live on Friday. So because we've been getting a lot of requests. Hey, when y'all going back to the Farmers Market? When y'all going back to Farmers Market? We want to see it live. So I plan on doing that this Friday. Don't know what time. It's probably going to be in the morning time. Back when Chuck's out there feeding the rabbits, and Jerry's out there feeding the cows. But it'll be during the day, and
I'll be sure I have it up.
Yeah,
I want to come down and go to the farmers market with you.
That is an awesome looking place, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, it's got a lot of stuff, and I mean, and now it's starting to really, if you will, sprout. No pun intended. It's really starting to sprout with a bunch of different stuff coming in.
Oh, and as a growing season goes on, there'll probably be more and more, huh?
I mean, Midnight says, "How about a mail call?" Yeah, we need to do a mail call, and we're going to be doing. We just been sick, and we didn't want to do a mail call while we were sick because you can barely hear us, and we're coughing a lot, and then you got to do a lot of editing. So,
hey, Michael, good to see
hey,
you.
Mike,
Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I'm going to get on off here.
all right.
Sitting here 2 hours is way longer than I think I ever have sat in one spot for outside of church, and even then I don't do that. I got to get up and go to the bathroom about 4 times. But
Check tomorrow. Check and see how many hours you gain from this.
I'll have to figure out how to do all that. I know you can do it on YouTube.
Yeah, you do it right there. It's easy.
Another thing is I use Batissimo. It's kind of like what's that other one that people use? Nightbot. People use Nightbot, but I use Batissimo, and what Batissimo does is they'll go in there and create a phrase if you want to put in a phrase every so many minutes. It'll greet people for you if you want to greet people, and it also sends you a report right as soon as you end the stream. You get a report in your email of how many new people were there, how many recurring people were there, how many people you had max, how many people you had concurrent, how many views, how many subscribers. If you had a subscriber that occurred, it tells you that. So we like using Batissimo a lot because of the analytics that it gives you.
You're gonna have to help me set that up. I've not set that up.
Yeah, but it's and Scott turned me on to that one. So and I use it, and once you set it up, it comes on automatically. You don't have to worry about it ever again. The only thing you need to do is change your, if you will, your taglines. If you're saying, hey, for example, every 15 minutes, hey, help me get my watch hours by running my playlist. Well, once you get your watch hours, you need to take that out of there.
Right.
So you can set up generics. So
I don't stay consistent with mine. As far as there's times where I think I'm really going to get into this YouTube thing, and I'm going to, like Ann, when she does a live, she's prepared. You know what I'm saying? She gets on there and she knows what she's going to talk about. She knows the direct.
She's got an itinerary. She's got a plan.
Probably 90% of the time, I have no clue what I'm going to be doing. I just get on there and whatever comes on. So, and then I think I need to get organized. I need to get in with these videos. I need to be consistent with them, and I'll do that for about an hour and thinking about it, thinking I'm going to do that, and then I get sidetracked and busy on something else. And I just need to figure out if I want to be consistent or not, because if not, then I won't worry about it. But if I do get consistent, then I'll start putting out something worth watching, I think.
Yeah.
How did I get off on all that?
Anyway, you were trying to get out of here, so I'm gonna let you go, Chuck. I appreciate you.
Hey, Jesse, I appreciate you.
I'm glad you guys were not in the line of fire of those thunderstorms. So
yeah.
Well, Chuck, thanks for having me up.
Jerry,
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
you coming on up here. Y'all, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm about to get on out here and get some stuff done. But I do appreciate all of y'all coming, all y'all in the chat. God bless you, and we'll talk to y'all later on.